Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Fall Flexing. So today we're doing a special. Today is literally just arms and not even shoulders. We're doing strictly biceps and triceps. So complete bro workout. I wore a sweatshirt just because I felt if I did a tank top the entire time, it might just be too much for people to handle at once with the amount of bro science that we'd be throwing around. So anyway, start off, just did a general warm-up for my biceps. I didn't intertwine them. I just did one muscle then the next one. So whichever one you want to focus more heavily on, I start with. So I was starting with biceps today. And the first exercise was standing, alternating dumbbell curls. And I did kind of not a pyramid set, but I just increased the weight, decreased the reps every set. Did 4 sets, starting with the 35s here and aiming for around 12 reps. And what you'll notice is there is a little bit of rock with these. When you're doing biceps, a lot of people say you have to be completely strict with form, but the very first exercise for both of my arms, whether it's triceps or biceps, I don't mind using a little bit of momentum, trying to make it almost a bit more of a compound movement. I like to kind of test my strength. It's a good benchmark to see how much you're improving. So with these every week, I try to see whether I'm improving in form in the certain movement, excuse me, or if I'm improving in weight. I basically just try to go up in something. So whether it's using less rock this week or going up, maybe starting with a heavier dumbbell than usual or ending with a heavier dumbbell than usual, but in some way trying to progress this over time just to make sure that as well as the muscle becoming more defined and more visible in your arm, you're also increasing strength. Because as a natural athlete, size and strength kind of come hand in hand. We're not using anything here you're not using any site oils, you're not using any anabolic steroids. So if you're trying to grow an arm, a stronger arm is going to be a bigger arm. So that's a real good estimate of what you're doing. So I did the 40s there for 10, and now I'm doing the 45s all the way in the distance down there for 8. Forgot to walk up to the camera. I was getting in the zone. But yeah, as you can see here, you'll see there's definitely more rock, but the big thing to notice here is that even though I lean forward and come back, my back never goes past parallel with my legs, or at least I try not to let it go past parallel with my legs. That's where you're going to start using your back, you're leaning, you're using way too much momentum, and the weight's just too heavy. So using a little rock here and there is okay if you're trying to really test the strength and durability of the muscle. But if you're having to crane your back every time, it's too much. So here I'm finishing with the 50s this week for 6. This is my 3rd week kind of finishing with the 50s, and this one felt better than all the other ones. My form was much cleaner. I didn't have to rest it all at the bottom. I could kind of bang them out one after the other. And I was able to squeeze them at the top without having to lean back too far. I think, only there I had to catch my breath like once or twice. But other than that, it felt good, and that's how I finished it off. And after that, now we're moving into the real isolation exercises where we really focus on lengthening the muscle, stretching it, and then contracting it, and focusing on keeping tension on it the entire time. So I am not contracting it, but I'm keeping it tight the entire way down, focusing on the eccentric movement, squeezing it back up to the top, giving it a tight little squeeze at the top, and letting it go back down slowly. You don't want to bang the weights around. So after you do your first big exercise in this program, don't try to use a lot of heavy weight. I'm using a 20-pound dumbbell here, and I just finished curling with the 50. So obviously, I could do more than this on this exercise. But what I'm really focusing on here is feeling the muscle. And sometimes I'll even put my hand on my bicep just to kind of increase the connection I get mentally with the muscle. I'm looking at it the whole time, and the entire time all I'm thinking is that I'm keeping it tight, and I'm feeling the muscle contract, lengthen, contract, lengthen, and it's almost kind of like a meditation if you really get into it. But this is the kind of stuff that I found has really helped grow my arms, especially when I started hitting a plateau. And I realized that this kind of form work and this kind of focus really does a lot more than just kind of throwing around a ton of weight. So throw around a lot of weight at the beginning, and then after that, pick weights and exercises that allow you to really squeeze and focus on the contraction in your arms. So now moving into our next exercise, I did a rope hammer curl. on the cable machine. This brings in a little bit of the forearms. As you saw, I adjusted my grip there so I wasn't holding it up at the top by the knobs. And this will bring in the brachialis in your forearms as well. And the entire time here, again, as you can see, slowly lengthening, contracting up to the top, focusing on the squeeze rather than the weight there. And then to end, I went back and did one last heavier set with alternating hammer curls. Hammer curls, again, you can use a lot of weight on these. These are probably the strongest bicep exercise you can use. They're very compound in their nature, so you're not going to be isolating anything at this point. The isolation should have been long. I mean, you should have isolated the crap out of your muscles at this point with those. I did 8 sets on that preacher curl, and I did 5 sets on the cable curl. So they should be pretty smoked at this point. And this is just to finish them off and make sure you're getting every last ounce of energy out of them. And I did 4 or 5 sets there of around 8 to 12 reps. And here's one more clip of it, just so you can see that it's. I'm trying to shoot it across my body. I bring it up just about to my pec, and really this will almost work more on your forearms than it will your biceps at this point. Bicep activation's not minimal, but it's a lot. It's much more reduced in this exercise because you're not supinating, you're not twisting the wrist at all. All we're doing is really pulling the weight up about halfway in the movement. So this is really more to finish off the forearms and make sure that we've hit them sufficiently so they're not going to be lacking, especially because we've been developing the bicep so much this workout. So next we're moving into triceps. Now I'm a little funny with triceps. I hurt my elbow, and I'm not quite sure what's wrong with it. It could be a bursitis, it could be something on my right elbow, but it's just overhead stuff and everything, it hurts. So I have to be very kind of creative with my movement. So I started with a Smith machine close grip bench press, really focusing on the top half of the movement and keeping the tension on the triceps the whole time. Trying not to let any of that tension go into my chest, even though you will feel it in your chest because you're doing a bench press. The idea is to focus it on that tricep. And then here doing an outer head exercise for the triceps. I found this through Mike O'Hearn. I'm not quite sure the official name of this exercise. What I'm focusing on doing is almost trying to pretend I'm bringing my knuckles together at the bottom and then using that outer head of the tricep to really press it up to the top of the movement. Going light here, only 20-pound dumbbells, but again doing 5 sets of around 12 reps, really focusing on hypertrophy and again keeping the muscles squeezed and tensed the entire time. My camera cut out for cable push downs, but again they're doing 5 or 6 sets of around 12 reps depending on how you're feeling. And then we finished off with this exercise that you're seeing now, cable kickbacks. I like these more so than dumbbells because you keep the tension on the muscle the entire time, as opposed to when you're using a dumbbell, you kind of there's not as much tension at the bottom. It's very much just tension when you're locking up the movement. And as you can see, using a very lightweight here, controlling, squeezing, and tensing. Those are the main cues here, just like throughout the entire workout. So hey, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go out there and try these out for yourselves if you're really looking to blow up your arms. Devoting a day to arms can be a real great way to kind of focus in on them and grow them a lot. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.
We do this for you. Give me your hand and we'll make it there soon. Life is just one beautiful view. We'll eventually get there. This is the pursuit. This is the pursuit. This is the pursuit.